The 25. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Once again, they run with Mixon. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. Burrow will throw. Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Play action. It's Burrow. This goes out wide from Mixon. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere. And they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well. And that's what they just did on that play.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now it's Mixon running right. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
It's been a 7-play opening drive, and this is 3rd and short. Now it's Burrow. To Mixon on the check down. Well, they needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down. Interesting decision here. Opening drive, Charles. 4th and short. You're in field goal range. We'll see what they do.
I just shake a fist at my offense and say, go get it, guys. Because if you can't pick up 4th and short here, we're probably in trouble the rest of the game. Show some confidence. Show some aggressiveness. Go pick it up.
Here we go. 11.
They'll try and run with Mixon. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on fourth. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. So a big play there on fourth, and now 1st and 10 at the 30. Burrow looking to pass. That's caught by the tight end, Drew Sample. And he'll be brought down at the 27. But yet another completion here on this opening drive, and he's now perfect 4 of 4 to start. Pretty solid execution here.
And how about how everyone's handled their nerves? Because you know what it's like to start a ball game. You're so amped up and ready to go, and sometimes the execution isn't there. They've been flawless so far. Well-drilled, well-prepared, and excited to start this game.
And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. 47 yards rushing for him here. What a start to the ball game. It's 1st and goal.
Here we go, here we go.
They'll give it to Mixon. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
On 2nd and goal, one man stands in the backfield, and that's Mixon. He's going to get it running right. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
This opening drive has taken him to the 2, but now they come up on a 3rd and goal. Now it's Burrow. Touchdown! Drew Sample, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Bengals will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. They'll start the drive with Elliott. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
On 2nd down, Elliott once more. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On 3rd and 1, here's Prescott. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. But when I looked down, he was kind of shaking his head right after he threw that pass. What did you see?
Well, from a defense's perspective, anytime you have your eyes back towards the quarterback, you're in a position to make a play on the ball, whether it's a big-time play by you or an overthrow by the quarterback. You have a much better opportunity.
Mixon with a first down carry. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. No, the converse is, though, you've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's Burrow. And his throw here's incomplete. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Bengals on 3rd down. They've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. 11-90. It's Mixon on the counter. He will push his way down to about the 14. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On 3rd down, Mixon. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
McPherson's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Prescott. He's going to find Gallup here complete. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
On third down, it's Prescott. He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Looks like a second empty possession to start the game, and certainly not the way you want to start when you're coming off of a loss last week. Every team talks about starting fast. They're hoping on their next possession it can be a delayed fast start and get them going.
Taylor now returning it. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. And the Bengals take over 1st and 10.
On one, ready?
The Bengals drive about to get going. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on 1st down. Nixon will try the right side. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Here we go, here we go. 11, 11, 11, 11.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 1:55 left to go in the first half of play. Things looking much rosier for him here in week 2. They work with the lead as they've got it 1st and 10. Again, it's Mixon. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
A handoff running left, Mixon. And some space here. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Joe Mixon, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that makes our score 17-0. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the 1st down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
Partner, that's another short run there, and I think the easy thing is to look at him right now and say, let's get away from him entirely. Let's start throwing the football. But I don't think you ever entirely abandon the run. It helps set a tone for the game for you, keeps your offensive linemen feeling good about themselves, and it actually tamps down a defense's pressure because if you just throw it all the time, it's going to tee off with the pass rush.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send John over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaul, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. It's the Cowboys who get the football first, and they trail here as well as we resume action in the third quarter. No run back here to begin the half, and we will start at the 25-yard line. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now.
Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative because, yes, they were totally ineffective in the first half. But we've seen many games that have flipped around in the second half. It all starts with this drive right here. They get something good going, put some points on the board, they begin to have hope.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Prescott off play action. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
At this point in the game, in the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Elliott running right. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. That ground game contained again there, Charles, and that's really a big reason that they're trailing right now.
They give a lot of credit to that defensive front. That's exactly what they worked for all week, to try and take away the run game, make them one-dimensional. In the battle of game plans, theirs has been superior.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Might want to remember that 3rd down play, 37 yards.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
A 1st down carry by Elliott. And a short gain here down to the 22. DJ Reader there on the tackle. Another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. 10th carry now for Elliott. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. He had a minimal gain on 1st down. Now they stop him for no gain. What do you think, going in a different direction on 3rd down?
Could very well be. I'll guarantee he's asking for the ball 3rd time to try and make up for the first 2. But his QB might very well say, well,
nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Trey Hendrickson in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down.
A 46-yard attempt.
The kick by Marr is good. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing, all right? They didn't play particularly well in the first half, but they definitely need them to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
The Bengals take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
Trying to get it to Chase, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Kelvin Joseph. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead, third quarter, but that, not the smartest of throws.
I would agree with you on that one because this game is still very much in the balance. It felt pretty one-sided to this point, but now, if these guys can turn this turnover into points, things could start getting a little more interesting.
47. Here go 46.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. And the Bengals are going to take over at their own 41. This defense, Charles, coming up with another interception. They have really done an excellent job of locking up these receivers.
Yeah, they're really on fire. They are actually doing what they talk about all the time, which is plastering to receivers when they're in their zones. They didn't give up a touchdown in the first half. Haven't done so here in this half either. Blanketed the field going all the way back to the opening drive, and they come up with a pick right there.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. Trayvon Diggs getting the tackle.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a first down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
Back to Mixon on second down. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Third and 2, now Burrow. Dumps it off to Mixon. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now. Hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
They'll stay on the ground, Mixon again. And a short gain down to about the 33. Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. From the gun to give to Mixon. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25.
127 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues.
Someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Inside handoff to Mixon. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. And they will not have time to get another play in here as time has run out on this third quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. A first carry for Samaje Perine. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
As a linebacker, you're taught to stay just slightly behind the ball carrier just in case he makes a cutback. But when you find the gap, shoot it. And he found it all right. Took it straight into the backfield and made the tackle for a loss.
In search of 8 yards on 3rd down. They've already converted 2 of these on this drive. 2 for 2. Mixing up the middle. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
McPherson's kick is good,
and that will extend their lead even further.
So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
But you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
And the complexion of this one has really changed a fair amount. That last field goal makes it a 3-score game, so they need points in a hurry with time dwindling in the 4th quarter. And the tackle there by Jermaine Pratt.
And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They go to Elliott again. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Hey, 47!
Prescott to throw it.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far.
And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
Well, offensively, Charles, hard to put a silver lining on this one. No secret that they had to take chances with a score where it is, and it leads to a turnover.
I love how you paint the picture, partner, because you're exactly right about that one. Look at the empty stairs on that sideline. This is one of those games where you just want to go crawl under a rock until it's over.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And the Cowboys are going to take over at their own 11-yard line. Well, that interception at least offers them a glimmer of hope here in the fourth quarter.
That certainly does if their offense goes out now and makes it pay off by getting into the end zone. And if it does, then they get a chance to get back out on the field and try and do it again. Maybe they can force that offense into more and more mistakes and give them a chance to get back into this one totally.
They have still a 3-score hill to climb. We'll see if they can do it. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. There for the sack, B.J. Hill.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns, and a late sack, just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Up the middle, here's Elliott. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the fourth quarter. Should rely more on the passing attack?
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now. Protect, let your quarterback operate, and try and find some targets in the open field downfield.
They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's 4th down. Seemed like Dak certainly made the right read there to hand it off to Zeke.
When you have those two in the backfield, Dak Prescott at quarterback, Ezekiel Elliott at running back, you've got a symbiotic, synergistic relationship that puts a lot of defenses in a lot of stress.
I got to tell you, I've never heard synergistic before, but I guess that works, right?
It does on this game.
Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. They are on to the fourth quarter now, by the way, in Santa Clara. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. The Bengals drive about to get going. It's been a dominant performance to this point, Charles, and this is probably exactly how they scripted this and envisioned it. They got a 3-score lead, fourth quarter, and a chance if they want to continue to pour it on here.
It is their call, isn't it? I mean, the way that they have taken on this game and the way that they have carried this game and have dominated this game, you're exactly right. Do what you want down the stretch. We are in the era of, hey, if you don't want us to do this to you, then you need to stop us. Their call to finish this one off.
No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
On the sideline, did he keep his feet in bounds? They say yes. Great job, both feet in, 1st down. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And some room to maneuver. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 157 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball,
they can't score.
Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down fourth quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it out, and we've got them now.
Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
On two, ready? 11 MT, 11 MT.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up first and goal now.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling
Here we go.
that the quarterback of this winning team is going to give him a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes. And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. Joe Mixon, his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. As his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead is now 24.
Bengals 27, Cowboys 3.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Tackled at the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 6. Brings up 3rd and 5.
So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage,